Welcome back to the ALG podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Today we have a very special guest, a very close friend of mine. With us today on the podcast is everyone's favorite vegan, the veggie queen herself, Kaela, fit little vegan McKenna. Kaela, how are you today? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good. I'm actually really sore today. How are you?
I'm all right. Why are you sore?
Yesterday I did legs and like 2.5 mile walk, and then today I did arms and then another like 2 mile walk.
Damn, baby girl. You killing it.
We're like living,
thriving.
I gotta say it. This is the first time actually hearing your voice after our communication is always through text message. So I'm just gonna say you're from the East Coast, correct?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Born and raised. Can you tell?
Now this is all coming full circle. We've had conversations only through text messages over the last.
I'm real
few
proper
weeks.
when I text.
Perfect.
So for those that do not know Kaela is Instagram's favorite vegan. I'm really not playing around when I say that. She has taken Instagram by storm, and she's trying to promote the vegan quality of life, not really so much for her health or weight loss purposes, but really just because she wants to protect the animals. Is that right, Kaela?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. I'm like kind of the annoying activist on Instagram, but like, don't follow me then if you don't like it, you know?
I don't think you're an annoying activist, to be honest
Oh my
with
God, thank you.
Of course. I mean, we've been friends now for, 3 years. Jesus Christ, right?
2. Yeah.
2 years? Yeah. So, I mean,
God,
I love it. I think it's awesome. We've had dinner together. We've gone to a regular restaurant. She ordered off the vegan menu. I ordered chicken. And, yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had some of whatever vegan dish she had. And, Kayla's going to cook me up some vegan recipes. So before we really get into, what you're trying to, promote as far as being vegan and that whole lifestyle, let's take it back to before you became vegan, kind of, your journey before that, your struggles and all that good stuff, all the juicy details. Don't leave anything out. And yeah, let's go in that direction, and you take it away. I want you to tell your story in your own words, and you can introduce yourself for people that don't know you, because my introduction was kind of shitty. So take it away,
I think
baby
you
girl.
described me perfectly. I don't know.
Oh, thank you.
Are we starting like
We can start wherever you want.
beginning or like weight loss wise?
Tell your story.
Yeah, tell your story.
In any way, shape, and form. Obviously, you do have a really cool weight loss story, but any way you want to take it, you got great accountability on multiple aspects of life.
I mean, my story is like super long, so I guess we'll kind of like shorten it down.
We got super time, girl. There ain't no time limit on this shit.
Yeah. So I'm Kaela. Hello. My main things that I like to promote are mental health, weight loss, as well as veganism. So I think the biggest thing out of all of them for me is mental health. I struggle with mental health. I'm very open about that. Right. I am manic depressant, which became bipolar 2, I think they classify it as now. Severe anxiety. And I used to have really bad panic attacks. Now it's more just so the depression and anxiety. But yeah, so I've been struggling with that my whole life. Started back when I was 8. So my mom, her father was my best friend. He was killed. He was murdered when I was 8. And I found everything out. And it really like fucked me up, like bad. And that's when it started. That's kind of when, I guess, as a young person, I started to realize that like life's not all sunshine and lollipops and rainbows. I've dealt with death before that. My grandmother passed away, and my nana, and a different my father's stepfather. But when it came down to, wow, this is like life, like
right.
That kind of hit me. So that's where everything kind of started for me as like breaking points. I was really young.
Right.
I almost failed out of 3rd grade because I got like super depressed. That was when the first like suicidal thoughts started happening. And that was the time in my life where I put a wall up. Like now I'm emotional as all shit. I don't know. I'm really emotional. I cry about everything. But back then you couldn't get me to cry for anything. Like I was a wall. Like right. Nothing, you couldn't bother me at all. I moved a lot growing up. My mom was a single mom, 4 kids, different dads. She was working 3 jobs, doing what she had to do. So like it was just kind of rough, kind of getting to where I was.
Right.
Up until I hit 8th grade, and that's when suicide was like highly on my mind, and I didn't know that it was even happening. It was Thanksgiving of that year, and I thought I got the stomach virus because I was like, I couldn't eat. I was really, really sick. And then for 6 months, the first month I lost 32 pounds in a month. I wasn't eating, could barely get water in my system. My dad calls me a bobblehead because like if you look at pictures back then, my head was fucking gigantic to my like tiny little body. I'm 5'1" now, but at the time I was like 4'11", just about. I didn't hit my growth spurt till like 10th grade. Growth spurt.
She's short. As John's like 6'5".
Yeah,
I'm tall.
Yeah. I was in heels the first time we met. My heels are usually like 4 inches high. I was like, wait, I got to see how short I am compared to you. And I took it off and it was like, boop.
Bro, it was like the elevator went down. She went ding.
I wear heels a lot because like I'm fucking short, but that's life. So I got really, really thin, and that's when I genuinely tried to kill myself. I was a cutter. I finally got help. My parents started to get me help, and that's when I was going to a psychiatrist, therapist, a whole nine. Back then, when I was super depressed, I didn't eat anything at all. Clearly, I lost a lot of weight. Now, on the other hand, I get depressed, and all I do is stuff my face, mostly with chips. It's a problem. But
what kind of chips you like?
Plain, dude. Before I was vegan.
Plain, like Lay's?
Like just straight up originals. Oh my God. Before I went vegan, it was the baked cheddar sour cream Lay's. Dude. It was like.
But chips can be vegan, correct?
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, definitely. I don't want to like cut off your story here.
You're good.
But barbecue baked Lay's on a buttered bagel in middle school and high school, that was my go-to.
Dude, I used to eat a plain bagel with cream cheese and Doritos and fucking squish that bitch on there.
Oh God. I'm having flashbacks right now.
Anyway.
See, I never made like super high type food. That was never a thing for me.
God.
It was just Reese's
I wasn't even high
cups.
then, bro. I wasn't even smoking weed at this point. I was just fat and hungry.
Yeah, I call that high food right there.
And then when I became high, then the fucking creations came out. But that's definitely an episode for another day. Oh, God, that's gross. I'm hanging up now. Goodbye.
It was so nasty. I have some I put ketchup on everything.
That's fucking gross. Oh, my cousin's stepmom used to put ketchup on pizza. And I used to want to vomit.
The fuck?
I mean, I guess it's like tomato sauce.
No, it's not. It is absolutely not. Anyway, yeah. Let's.
We may be a judgment-free zone, but that may be judging.
I wouldn't do that. That is my mac and cheese, bro.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna put this shit in reverse right now.
Okay, we gotta.
Yeah. All right.
Pivot
back.
No ketchup.
No ketchup. We're not going there.
How do we even get there? I don't even know.
I brought up weed.
Chips.
I brought up different
ketchup chips. Sorry.
Ketchup chips.
Bro.
Anyway, so you like fucking chips.
Snacking. Chips and then mozzarella sticks, bro. Oh my God. Before I was vegan, I had a horrendous diet. I mean, like horrendous. I was eating like cheeseburgers with the fries and the onion rings on it.
Yeah.
With the side of like cheese fries and mozzarella sticks and dessert like you wouldn't believe. Oh God.
And how old are you here? Like 13?
After I was sick.
No, when you eating all this well, yeah, I guess after
Oh
then
no,
when you turned to food.
I didn't start gaining weight like that until I like fully came out the closet. So I was still like trying to not be gay. And
I feel you.
That kept me depressed. So I was like, bro, I was a rail. It was like wild when I look back on it, because it's like when I first wanted to lose weight again, I was like, I want to be 130 pounds like I used to be, but I was so sick then. I was like, maybe not. But I think.
So you're just going through a big mental battle. For everyone that doesn't understand, like you're going through mental heartache because of loss of your family members. You're trapped in the closet. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So you're trapped in. I don't know. I don't want to be a dick, but you're trapped in the closet. You can't come forth with who you truly are. Your sexuality, everything like that. That takes a fucking toll, man. Like you just want to be you, and you can't because society says that shit is wrong.
Yeah, and I mean
bullshit.
I dealt with way more loss by the time I was 17. You know, when I was 17, within 4 months, I had a friend, my baby cousin, and a friend die every month.
Jesus Christ.
And like, I mean, I dealt with loss like you wouldn't believe. And then it was just like slowly losing pieces of myself. And it was like, bro, like there was a point in time I wasn't speaking to my dad and that side of my family. So I had my dad, my stepmom, my sister, and my little brother for about 5 years.
Right.
You know, like my siblings on my mom's side used to like walk past me in the street because that was a whole nother thing. I felt like I had nobody. Thankfully, I had some friends that were like family to me, but at the end of the day, like I just always felt alone. Like I genuinely always felt alone. So the girl that I was with before my wife, I actually got with her back in high school a few times, but okay, story about that one. I wanted to get my nipples re-pierced, and none of my friends. Here we go, folks.
Here we go.
Here we are. No filter. So none of my friends that had a car, I didn't have a car, were able to drive me. So I like text her out of nowhere, like 2-3 years later, and I'm not gonna say her name, but I texted her and I spelled it wrong, and I was like, so can you bring me to Vinny's tattoo shop in Brooklyn? And there's this place called Roll and Roaster in Brooklyn. I don't know if either one of you have been there.
What? What? Have I ever been to Roll and Roaster? Go on my Instagram. I had Roll and Roaster a week and a half ago. Roll and Roaster is the greatest creation in the world. It's fucking roast beef on a roll with fucking as much cheese as you want. When I say cheese, it's how
like
much
the
you
hot
please.
cheese.
Yeah, it's that good cheese.
It's that like 75
The more cheese, the better. And when you go there on your birthday, you get to spin a wheel of fortune.
Are we talking about like a real cheese or like the fake synthetic BS cheese?
It's like the whiz, but it's made of real cheese, bro.
Okay, I'm just because like your classic nacho sketchy,
like kind of like that, but better. No, but made of real cheese.
It was fire.
And then you take the buns and you have them double dip the sandwich in the au jus. Oh my god!
What are we at? Bread in a car with the double dipped?
Why you don't get yours double dipped at Roll and Roaster?
Nah, I just use the fries with extra cheese.
No, dude. Let me tell you something right now.
In a burger.
Well, I mean, you ain't eating no Roll and Roaster right now. But for those that are listening, if you go to Roll and Roaster by Emmons Avenue, you better get your shit double dipped, extra cheese, waffle fries with cheese, some corn fritters. I'm just giving you the corn fritters. The corn fritters were life.
Bro. And then you would get like $100 order. They give you some nasty ass pizza with it.
All right, so I've talked about this on my page, and when I had my Daily Mail article, they kind of like made it that I was a Roll and Roaster fiend, and that's all I ate in life because of like one picture on my Instagram. So, the corn fritters were life. Okay. Bomb. And when you spend over $35 at Roll and Roaster, you get a free pizza.
What?
Yes. You get a free pizza. Now, I'm not saying this pizza is banging. Yeah. It's literally like a thin-ass piece of fucking big tortilla with cheese and sauce. But every time you spend $35, you get a free one.
And you're getting a whole party of stuff.
Now you're definitely incentivized here. It's like what's the heart attack Heart Attack restaurant or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, the one in Vegas.
Yeah. Where the heavier you are, the cheaper the food is, or some shit.
Right. Exactly. But I'm not saying like you hit $35, you get a free pizza. But then when you hit $65, you get 2 free pizzas.
Yo, every time
you hit $35, you.
So what you're saying is you're basically at $40. You're like, I gotta make it to 70.
Exactly. Yes. So anyway, enough about Roll and Roaster. Okay. It's the greatest place on earth. If you're in Brooklyn, you better go. Anyway.
No sponsorship deal.
No sponsorship.
But Roll and Roaster called me and we'll work something out.
I literally forgot I was going with that because I just thought about
you were talking about your nipples getting pierced.
Oh, yes. So they have this wheel thing where you spin it and you get coins. Yeah, Roll and Roaster coins. And I have $5 coin. I was like, y'all give you the $5 coin. You bring me the pennies. But she picked me up.
This is currency in Brooklyn, by the way, David. I need you to understand something. This is real currency.
It's like, cash, what is it? Cash, grass, ass?
Yeah. Roll and Roaster. You got Roll and Roaster coins, bro? You coming. It's all right. You don't have to have gas
over
money.
My head right now. I don't know what's going on.
Well, now you know. Look it up.
All right.
So
Noted.
she picks me up anyway. And no joke, the minute I got in this car, I was like, oh, shit. Because I was with this dude at the time. I was like, it was a whole situation. And we get out of the car, and I'm looking at her, and I was like, oh.
Damn, she bad. She a baddie. Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit, fuck. And I was like in love. Like that day. And that night I went home and I packed my bags and I was like, I can't be with you no more. To the dude.
Jesus Christ, just like that?
I was like, dude, I was obsessed with this girl. I was like obsessed with her. So I was still in the closet for a couple months after that. while we were together. And my mom was kind of figuring it out because, like, I like butchy girls. Like, is she a butchy girl? My mom was like, "You're not hanging around her for no reason." Yeah, you're right. So that was that. And after I fully came out of the closet, I was
This is my
eating.
favorite. This is great.
I was eating, and like she was also the type of person.
Oh,
where,
you was
like,
eating, all right. You was definitely eating.
Listen, PG, nipple piercings. So she was the type of person that, like, we were going out to eat every night. Applebee's every fucking night, bro. Every night. And I would wake up.
Applebee's half off appetizers. That was my shit.
I told you mozzarella sticks were my jam.
That was my shit. Now we're on to something. We can I can vibe on this one. Now we're starting to understand each other here.
And I would get chicken fingers all the time. I'm like a 5-year-old. But the days that she wouldn't drive me to school, we were now in college at this point. I would open my door and there'd be like a large coffee from Dunkin' with 2 orders of the hash browns and a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. And then while we're in school, she's bringing me the venti iced caramel macchiato, double caramel with the cake pops. Bro, she was feeding me, all right?
Calories,
bro,
baby.
She was fucking fattening you up. Like, if I didn't know any better, I think she's going to cook you like Hansel and Gretel.
Okay. And I was like, why are we eating all the time? But, like, I'm enjoying it. This is good food. And then we went to the cafeteria, bro. Like, everything in Kingsborough. They had some.
They have a good cafeteria in Kingsborough.
Okay, yeah. This is a college in Brooklyn. So within, like, I don't know, a couple months, your girl started blowing up. I went from like 130. I was like creeping up, and I was like 150, and then it was like going up more and more.
It's that love weight, you know? That love weight.
Love weight. That was that obsessive love weight. Okay. And my mom would be like, you're getting fat. Like, what are you doing? Like, my mom is straight up. She's a little 4'11" Puerto Rican. Doesn't care. She's straight up, right? She's like, Kaela Robin, you're getting real fat. Like, what are you doing? Now, my dad, he's morbidly obese. His mom's morbidly obese. She died from that. My uncle, morbidly obese. I'm talking like 400 and up. So my mom was like, you're going to end up like your father. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. And then I slowly started to end up like my father. So that's kind of...
that's always how it happens.
Yeah, you know? And then I came out to Long Island about 5 years ago. And at that point, I was like 215, 220. By the time I met my wife, I was like 240. And then by the end of my honeymoon, I was 269 pounds.
Woo! 269 at 5'1". Hello.
I was real round. And all
baby girl had an orbit. I love you, but baby girl had an orbit. You know what I'm saying? She had spoons.
Yeah,
it was like that's always my classic. Is like when it's just the perfect roundness. Like,
yeah,
it's the greatest.
This is why I thank God every day I was never short.
If you were short, bro, okay.
Bro, if I was short at 5'10", like at 510 pounds, I'd have a whole solar system. You understand?
It's like the episode of Family Guy when he first is told fat from his doctor. Yeah. He goes, "The doctor called me fat," and everyone's just like, well, "So? Yeah. You didn't notice?
You didn't know?
I wasn't." And then Stewie starts throwing stuff into the orbit around.
That was me, bro.
Dying. Okay.
Swear to God, because my face is
273.
269.
269.
I might as well have been 273. My whole face, bro, like I literally looked like this all the time. Like it was a constant look, and I was just everything was my stomach and my face. Everything was big, but like those were the two worst parts. And I did like I'm trying to die here, trying to die there. I lost 30 pounds before my wedding, and then I got a job in Brooklyn. Living on Long Island, and the job sucked ass.
Where?
It was so bad. Oh my God. I can't even say the name of it. My friend got me the job. All I know is I got off at exit 7W.
Oh, I know where you were. All right, go ahead.
Worst mistake of my life. So when I got that job, at that point I was like 230, and I was like, I'm gonna fit in my dress. My dress is like, you have to go to fittings or whatever, and they're like bringing it in. And then slowly but surely, they had me go to Dunkin' before work. So I'm getting the Dunkin'. I'm getting a bagel, cream cheese there, scarfing it down in the block and a half that I have to get to this job. And then the order of breakfast. So I started getting another bagel. So now I'm 2 bagels in. And then getting hash browns or home fries. And then the order in lunch. And over there, you got Knapp Street 2.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a deal where you get a family size pie, an order of mozzarella sticks, an order of garlic knots,
Talk to me, baby.
A bottle of soda.
Yeah, you do.
For $20.
Yes, you do.
And I was like, rack it up. That's cheap.
That is cheap.
So I started eating like you wouldn't believe. And then I was there. You didn't get break there. You just had to like eat it just when you could. And I was like, I'm going to order a Philly cheesesteak from the deli up the block. Drinking soda like you wouldn't believe. And out of nowhere, boom, I was like all the way back up to 260 right before my wedding. And I was like, well, fuck it. Like, here I am.
Yeah. And you had a beautiful wedding dress.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I would have loved it more if I wasn't the size that I was.
Well, you got to redo your whole wedding, right? Because when you did Barcroft or whatever the fuck it's called.
I bought a new dress for like $80 off Amazon.
Right. We'll get into that later, but
yeah, we want to take our pictures again.
Cool.
But then I got fucking fat again from quarantine, so we gotta wait. So, at our honeymoon, I topped at 260. I don't like flying. Okay, my third time in a plane was on my way to my honeymoon.
Jesus.
And I could barely fit in the seat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My anxiety already was going bad, right?
Where'd you go for your honeymoon?
Disney. I had to go to Wizarding World. Harry Potter. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeet.
Hello.
Now we're speaking my language
Hello.
again. Now we're
Harry Potter.
Let's go. I watched Harry Potter 2 nights ago. It was on TV.
Yeah, it's on.
I gotta know what's your favorite book / movie?
My favorite book is the fifth book.
Fifth book.
Order of the Phoenix. Favorite movie? OG, first one.
Really?
See, it used to be.
Prisoner? I think Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah.
It used to be. But then I started watching it more and I'm like, this shit is annoying.
But they left out so much.
So much.
Like Goblet of Fire, there was so much that was left out.
I could go on a whole tangent about the differences between books and movies because I am a huge book.
That's another podcast we're going to have to do.
Yeah. My wife's like, you're a book snob. Because I'm like, you ain't a real fan if you didn't read it.
Fact.
Like, that's
all right. Then I'm gonna be that person because I never read the books. I
just love the movies. You're missing so much.
I know.
Yo, just leave. I'll handle the rest of the podcast. Just you're relieved.
What gets it to me is like I watched it. Like what the first one came out because I mean, John, you and I are the same age, so
yeah.
The first one came out when we were what 3rd, 4th grade.
Yes.
And then the last one came out my freshman year of college.
Like, that would, the Harry Potter movies were the only movies I could get my dad to actually watch with me and my sister in the movie theater. Yeah. Oh, he was hyped. Like he was more hyped than us. When the Harry Potter
my mom with Twilight.
I tell you what,
fuck.
when like it felt like when that final movie came out my freshman year of college, like that's my childhood. My childhood's over.
Is over.
Like
yeah,
like that's what Harry Potter is to me. It's like it's such that like it reminds you of your childhood for me. That's
I remember the first when Sorcerer's Stone came out and we had a book fair in 3rd grade and it was like the most impossible book to get your hands on. And then I got to rent it from the library. And there was like a time limit of how long that you were allowed to have it because it was, Harry Potter and everyone wanted to fucking read it. So they only gave you like a week. And man. I wasn't the brightest fucking kid in the world. So I was like, I gotta read this fucking book in a week. I'm gonna read this book in a week. And I remember staying up late, having a little book light, like a little fucking dweeb, and just be like,
I still got that.
I fucking love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter's best. I love Harry Potter.
They're trying to talk to other people about it, and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it was a cult.
So much from the book.
It was the same thing when A Series of Unfortunate Events came out.
Yeah, I got those too.
Me too, dog.
Narnia, bro.
Narnia was alright. I'll be honest. I only watched the movies for Narnia, but that's
the whole book series, everything. But me with Harry Potter is like my mom with Twilight. She's obsessed.
See, this is what happens when you listen to the ALG podcast. We just don't talk about weight loss. We talk about fucking Harry Potter and roller.
I don't know how we
talk about life.
Yeah, my life. Literally, I used to have what my wife called a shrine with Harry Potter stuff. It was actually pretty bad.
Never.
Did you ever see my wall? Bro?
I know about these things.
Dude,
yeah, we real life best friends. All right.
Factories. I mean, when I tell you, I had I think 50 some wands, bro. Like,
do you?
I had I still have everything. My whole closet wall in my living room, head to toe of it, was just like Harry Potter posters and like wands all over the wall.
Well, I got Michelle the Time Turner fucking.
I got that too.
Bro, I spent so much money on Harry Potter merch now.
It's actually gross.
This is actually a good question because I feel like it's becoming the ALG iconic question because I got to know. Yeah. Did you do the Harry Potter ride where it was like you went inside Hogwarts and everything? Did you fit?
I didn't do any rides.
Honestly,
no rides.
Not a fan.
Wait, you did no rides? Wait, hold on. Skirt! Bring it back. You did 0
I
rides.
did no rides.
So
Okay,
you walked around that hot son of a bitch all day?
and ate, bro. That's all I did.
Oh, you pulled you pulled
like,
the J up on senior cut day, baby.
Do you actually like the butterbeers?
I
The
love
frozen
butter.
one.
I used to
The
make them
frozen one
myself.
is the
I wasn't
shit.
a huge fan.
I used
Not
to
a
make it
huge fan.
myself. Love that.
Actually, but the side, at least you were at your heaviest weight when you went there, correct?
I got to, yeah. So I got there at 260 and I left 269.
And she was double fisted butterbeer.
So at least,
so
because at that point, because the first time I went to Harry Potter I was already down 150. I was actually 1x at skin removal done. So I had already lost some of my weight when I was in there. So I didn't have that same. It's so much sugar in those butterbeers.
Yeah,
like it was just too much for me. Now, if I was 400-pound David drinking those suckers, I may have
agree. Yeah, no, I
pounded
agree.
them. Yeah,
pounding them.
And I'm a butterscotch freak. Right.
Bro.
I am I'm like a 90-year-old man. I fucking love
me
butterscotch.
too. Those little candies.
Yeah, bro. Give me a word. There's any time. I don't give a fuck. Baby girl.
I know.
All right,
we're on the way there.
We're locked
Everyone
back in.
stop listening about 5 minutes ago.
We're locked back in.
The plane ride.
We're pulling back into the plane
yes.
ride on the way back.
Now you're on the plane.
Locked in.
Yes, and I could barely fit in the seat.
Right.
Already anxious as shit because I'm like, I am terrified. Also, one of my biggest paranoia fears that it's like crippling and everyone makes fun of me is vomit. I'm terrified to throw up. I'm terrified of throw up. I would really rather die than vomit once, bro.
I used to cry when I would throw up.
No,
like hysterical cry, like a bitch. The minute
Steph is just like, Steph, my wife, she's just like, I don't feel good. I'm like, yo, you throwing up? Because you gotta like go somewhere else. Like, it's so bad.
Maybe come rub my back. No, go fuck yourself.
No, literally, definitely not. She had stomach virus twice, and I was like, find somewhere to go. It's really bad. So I have the anxiety getting onto the plane. Now I'm like, somebody's gonna throw up next to me. So now I'm freaking out even more, bro. I'm like, they got puke bags in front of me. So everything's going through my head. I try to in this seat, and I am like, and I go to plug my little seatbelt in, and this shit didn't even get past my belly button. So I'm like, I'm gonna die if the plane goes down. I mean, you're gonna die if the plane goes down anyway, but like in my head, I'm flinging out the seat. How? I don't know, because I was lodged in there. But I was terrified. So like, and I was too nervous to ask for a seatbelt extender. Mm-hmm. It was embarrassing. So I was like, I'm gonna leave it. So when the lady was coming over to check, I had to like tug as best I could.
Oh, that's what I used to do. Tuck it under the food bowl.
Tuck it.
You know what I'm saying?
Tuck it right under the. Yeah. No,
I was like, we're just going.
Are you locked in? Yes, ma'am. I am. I'm locked, loaded, and ready to go.
Yeah. Here we are.
Put this bird in the air.
So bad. I was so embarrassed, but like, that's what we were doing. And I also was sick all the time. Like, not like vomit sick, but like couldn't stop going to the bathroom. I was nauseous 24/7.
Oh, you had IBS because you were eating like a fucking like me. You were eating like a gavoon.
I wanted to kill myself. So like, anytime Steph and I were going out, like we went to the Rainforest Cafe.
Ooh.
We were, like done eating. Somebody was taking a picture. I was like, yo, we gotta go now.
The Kaela, whatever it's called. The Kaela something. Kaela. We had a Rainforest Cafe in Grand Rapids and then shut down.
Yeah, we had one in New York that was my shit when I was 5, and now it doesn't.
They had like the Kaela.
Oh, I know
brownie.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I used to take down 2 of those. It was a Kaela brownie.
Yeah,
like something like that, and it was just like.
Did I get that? I don't even
now you got to go to Atlantic City if you want to go to Rainforest Cafe by me, which I've done. I've drove all the way to Atlantic City. For real. Anyway,
it was so bad. So I was sick all the time. It was a time. So when I got back from vacation, by the way, it was about, I don't know, a good 100+ degrees every single day. Yeah. And walking in Disney, my ankles, oh my God. And like the whole no ride thing goes with the being afraid to throw up. Because I would get I would get to the front of a line of a ride with Steph, and I saw may cause motion sickness, and I was like, I gotta get offline. I would get right off. I'm not kidding.
Well, I was about to say when it came to the Harry Potter one, that's good you didn't, because I don't get motion sickness. Those ones that like do the front back and like
I had to. I did go on one ride, and it was that around the world bullshit. And Steph was like,
"Well, it's a small world."
No, not that one. The only rides I went on were the kids ones where you like sat in a little clamshell and you watch animated like Little Mermaid.
Oh, listen, the Little Mermaid is like one of my favorite rides. I can't even front. Yeah,
it was so great. I went on by myself because she went on like Space Mountain. But like, in this thing, and it's the one where it takes you up off the ground, and it's like
the Peter Pan gimmick. Yeah, it's the Peter Pan.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's not there
like,
anymore.
It's really not that bad. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The moment my feet left the floor, I started like hysterical crying. There's like a 4-year-old girl next to me, like, you were right, and I'm bawling like the whole time. I'm having anxiety attack, panic attack on this thing, and stuff. It's like, you're fine. Literally felt like I was gonna die. So yeah, me and the rides, big no. But
even
me and
now,
the food though,
even now,
because I'm afraid to throw up.
You're so boring.
It's so bad. It's so
You're
bad.
so boring.
But like it's a crippling fear, which sucks. Like it really sucks. But my anxiety lessened with weight loss because when I was that heavy, eating really bad, I felt like I was going to throw up no matter where I was. I was looking for an out, for a plastic bag, for garbage anytime I walked into it. It's because my life is set up like that. But yeah, so no rides for me. It was really, really bad. And by the time we got back, we went on this family vacation with my dad and like my dad's family and my sister's ex at the time, and it was in the Poconos. And I remember we went to a shooting range, and my dad was like taking the pictures of us, and I remember looking at these pictures, and I was like, woof. Woof. I was like, that is bad. So we got back home, and pause. I go all over the place. There was kayaks there. I'm afraid of open water too. Because I don't like.
She's just afraid of everything. This is what I've gotten to.
Facts.
She's afraid of everything.
It's so bad.
You know, I'm excited.
She's not afraid of veggies, but she is afraid of fucking everything else.
Everything else. What are you excited about?
I'm excited to the accountability side of things. I'm excited. Like I'm looking forward to our conversation about what we had. Because it's important to have and the authenticity of it all. And I love like. Do you know who Tony Robbins is?
Yes, you do. Stop lying. Yes, you do. You know who talking about.
Probably.
Yes.
Well, he's the phobia guy, and so I'm huge into the mental shift of how to things and how do you get over phobias, how do you get over belief systems, and so I'm just tweaking my head, going, how am I gonna?
I'm gonna get Kaela on a ride. It's all good. She's going on a roller coaster. It's fine. Drag that ass. I'll fucking drag you by a fucking hair if I got to. I don't give a shit. I'll put a fucking piece of broccoli in front of a string and just make you follow that shit.
That might get me.
Yeah, I know. That is gonna get you. I know.
Tofu and broccoli.
I'll be like, yo, gluten-free, baby. Gluten-free vegan. Here we go. Right here.
Yeah, no, it's really, really bad. And so we're on this little family vacation, and mostly I'm afraid of open water because I don't like not knowing what's underneath me. I don't like that. If the water's crystal clear, you might get me to put a toe in it, but like, it's not.
So you don't go in the pool?
I go in the pool.
Oh, okay.
open water, like.
Oh, I got you.
Sharks and shit.
Yeah, like.
There's like an octopus that's been coming out and going.
No, it's something on your leg. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing these kayaks, and I was a little hefty, okay? And I started getting made fun of. You're not going to get in the kayak.
That's fucked up.
You know, you're not going to be able to do it. I'll pay money to see you get in the kayak, blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to take the money in.
And I turned around, and I was like, yo, get in the kayak. So I walk up to the kayak, fine-ass girl, right? I was like, oh, damn. Now I really got to get in this kayak. So she's trying to put the life jacket on me. And at the time, at my heaviest, my chest was a J.
What?
Yeah. So
I don't even know what J is, to be honest.
That's like, big. It's J for J up when he's fat. That's big.
It's so bad. So not only was I round all over, but like my chest was huge. And she is trying, bro. Like we were like, I was pressing in the chest. She's like, come on, we got it. Finally get it on. And I'm like, okay, like I can't walk in this thing. And getting me into this kayak, bro, I'm telling you, comedy moment. Now, back then I was embarrassed as all shit. But I was like, I gotta get in this kayak. So I'm lowered into this kayak.
What'd they do? Put you on a crane? What do you mean you were lowered?
Her and my sister had to literally, arm in arm, lower me into this kayak.
Oh, God.
And now I have the little things, the oar. I was so big. I was so bad. And trying to get me out of it was probably the worst part of it. So this girl and my sister trying to heave up, mind you, both of them are like, okay, trying to heave up a little 269-pound
5'1"
5'1" baby hippo out of the water. So yeah, that kind of was, I know, I love you too. That kind of was my, wow, this is something serious.
I love the fact that you're able to laugh at it. I mean, it's. I think it's important. Personally, I think that's an important thing to realize. It's honestly okay to laugh at yourself. And when me and Kaela went out to dinner, I think that's what we did the whole time. I think we just made fun of our former fat selves, and we just we're just pissing all over this restaurant.
I mean, like I tried to make fun of myself when I was really heavy because I was like, at least I'm funny.
Right, fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's that whole personality thing. You have to be. If you're not funny and fat, then you're.
Dude, what are you?
Yeah,
you're just a depressed fat person. And
no one likes a depressed fatty.
I was like, so I'm gonna just make fun of myself. So that was kind of like my aha moment. And the day that I got back, I was like, nah, I gotta change it. And that's when keto came along.
Dun, da, da, da. It's crazy to think that at one point you were on keto, just because I know
that's
you
fast.
and your personality.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, you okay, cool.
When I first started my weight loss. Cool. So
homegirl was like, eggs and meat, bet.
Eggs and meat. I was like, steak wrapped in bacon?
Yeah.
In fat? Bet. I was like, I'm losing weight? No problem. And I love cheese at the point. So I was like, man. So I heard keto and I was like, yes, I can lose weight while still eating. And like, okay, before I was vegan, like steak, okay. One of my birthdays, Steph was like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, steak. And we went to the store. I bought over like $250 worth of just like meat in my freezer. Like I was the person that you would have never thought we're going to go vegan. So we did that for like 2.5 months, but like I never got over the keto flu. And like, as I said before, I'm terrified of vomiting. So for me to be in that state of mind of I'm going to throw up 24/7 and still going with it, I was like, all right, I know that I'm serious about like losing weight this time. And a little over 2 months, I was like, you know what? I have to try to figure this out because I can't do this anymore. I literally feel like I'm going to throw up and pass out 24/7.
Mm-hmm. For anyone that doesn't know what the keto flu is, it's do you want to explain it just so that people understand, or do you want to explain it?
Or is it like they call it the carb flu, or like
it's just basically for anyone listening, it's when you're just super low carb and your body's having a hard time transitioning to ketosis. Yeah. You get this super. Have you ever had like a low sugar feeling where like you get the shakes and you're nauseated and the sweat? For some people, it's brutal. Me personally, never had an issue, but
I never had a problem.
Steph didn't either. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like genetics, but this is why I think there's no such thing as a one size fits all nutrition plan.
Right.
Because our genetics are so different and there's different things in play. And that's why I think it's so important. But yeah, so anyone that doesn't know the keto flu is, it sucks.
It's brutal, bro. Like if you go on my Instagram, I have a highlight called progression. And if you start it, it was back in the beginning and me talking about the keto flu, trying to work out, just like a mess. So like I spoke to my sister-in-law's boyfriend and he was just like, look, you got to stop thinking like, I just want to get to 130 pounds. You got to start thinking you just want to be healthy and you're not healthy right now. He's like, so you need to change it. And like that conversation changed my life. I was like,
I like that.
Wow. And mind you, I never spoke to him before ever. This was like my first time meeting him.
Ever? Day one? And he was just like, hey, baby girl, I'm going to help you.
In my apartment. Because I texted my sister-in-law and I was like, yo, like, do you think that he could help me out? And she was like, yeah, I'm sure he'd be fine with that. And he came into my apartment and like, that was it. Like he just was blunt, straight up. And was just like, yeah, like you got to lose weight, but like you got to be healthy, you know? Right. And like from that point on, he was like, add some carbs back in, some potatoes, maybe some Ezekiel bread, start slow, maybe some rice. And then right after that, I started to get this problem where like, you know, where you put a pill to swallow,
yeah,
like right in the back of the throat, food got stuck there and I felt like I was going to throw up. And at first I was like, why is God playing me? Right. But it started to get progressively worse to the point where water would not even go down my throat. I had to have, applesauce and swish it through my teeth so much that it would just kind of slide down my throat.
Fuck.
It was so bad. Like,
what was
I'm not kidding. This was. Whew.
No, what was it? Like, what did they say that was? What is that?
I'm trying to figure out when exactly it was. I thought I had esophageal cancer. I cried on my bed with Steph, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Because, like, cancer runs in my family. I was terrified. Like, to this day, I think that was even scarier than, like, the 6-month black period of, like, depression that I went through.
Right.
And I was like, I guess I was doing blood work. Literally nothing was. Well, I found out the pre-diabetic. That was also what kind of kickstarted me losing weight. But nothing was figured out. So I was like, I guess I have to get an endoscopy. And it took a month for me to get that. I lost over 15 pounds in the month because I couldn't have anything.
Right.
I found out that I was severely lactose intolerant.
This girl used to eat cheese by the pound.
I used to drink whole milk by the by the Yeti glass. Whole milk, bro, like gross. Allergic to gluten. He's like, you probably should stay away from red meat right now. And I had what was called
celiac.
No.
Well, you were definitely
It's a
celiac, though,
reflux.
right?
Yes.
Oh, acid reflux? You had GERD?
Like
Yeah, you had GERD.
Silent
GERD?
reflux. Silent reflux.
Silent reflux.
So I knew that I had it because, like, I'd be the type of person where if I had too much red sauce, I'm like, I got ALG.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, fact.
So he was like, you had silent reflux until you started eating fat by the pounds, being on keto. So if this is my esophagus, that's just esophagus, I started getting the reflux, which would burn it and then scab up, and then burn it and then scab up, burn it, scab up. So my esophagus was like, boop. And I couldn't get anything down my throat. So, sorry. So, that's kind of where things took a turn. He's like, try eating only clean meats. So chicken, turkey, and egg whites, not even the yolk.
Yeah.
And try to stay away from dairy, red meat, gluten, blah, blah. Right. In my head, I'm like, so get rid of dairy, red meat, and gluten. No problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I'm in the mindset of it, like, I didn't even think twice.
Right.
So I gave it all up. I went 90% plant-based for my health.
That's cool.
And I was still eating chicken, turkey, and egg whites.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this point in your life very well, actually.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is fine. Like, I could do this, no problem. At first, I thought it was going to be so hard because, like, cheese, I did not think I could give up cheese. Now, vegan cheese is, like, my favorite thing to eat. So eventually, as time started to go by, I was like, I'm not really feeling chicken and egg whites. I never really liked egg whites to begin with. I needed like scrambled with the yolk, but he told me not to eat the yolk. So in my head, I was like, don't eat the yolk. And the egg whites just freaked me out because it has that like.
I got you. Yeah.
It's so nasty. So I was like, I'm just going to give that up. And then chicken, the more I started eating chicken, the more flesh like it started to taste to me. And I was like, no.
Slowly but surely, she's starting to turn into a plant. You could see it.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
I see green. I see green.
And then one day I was eating a wrap at work. It was turkey, vegan cheese. That was the hardest thing for me to give up. Deli meat turkey. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know why. I was like, birds aren't the same. But now I know what happens to them, and I hate myself for it. But it's all right. And I ate half of the wrap. And as I was eating the other half, I almost threw up. And I was like, I'm eating flesh. And like from that day, I went vegan. And that was it. Like I didn't even look back.
Okay.
Wow.
And now here I am.
And then full transition today, and you say here you are. Obviously, we all got to give ourselves a little bit of grace in life sometimes. This quarantine sucks. Like I haven't been to a physical gym in 14 weeks, which is wild to think.
Yeah.
So you say like you've quote unquote come back a little bit, but like from 269 your heaviest to where you are at your quote unquote healthiest, where are you at now in that time period?
So I got down to 156.
Okay.
And then quarantine hit, and I got back up to 193 point something.
Okay.
Massive depressive episode. I mean, like, whoa. Like, I didn't think that I could kind of get there again, and it was bad. Because I started going back to old habits. I would closet eat. I'd binge eat chips, family size, to the face, like 3 of them a day.
But they're vegan chips now.
They're vegan, yeah. But fattening.
Right, but vegan doesn't necessarily mean healthy.
This is where I would love to have our conversation. I think it's a good point to come back.
Yeah.
I always jab at any ideological stuff, like keto people. Keto people are like, if I just eat bacon and cream cheese all day, I'm gonna be healthy. Shut up.
Yeah, see,
and then I go to the vegan spectrum. You can take any health quote unquote system and make it unhealthy because guess what? Oreos are considered vegan.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's healthy.
You don't know is actually vegan.
Yeah. And so that's always my angle with I always put big red flashes up at jabbing at any single system because anybody can focus so heavy on it that they make it unhealthy to try to justify 100%. Their habits. That's always where I'm always jabbing at people where I like but I made that comment on a couple episodes ago of jabbing at protein when it comes to vegans, and it was not nice.
I'm just going to take a step back and you all just fucking fight it out. All right. Love you both. And see you on the other side.
So for me, I went 90% plant-based for health from what my doctor told me. And then I went straight vegan for the animals. Like I am 100% an activist for the animals. I can send you to the way of people who are vegan for health that are like smarter than I've ever fucking been. This one guy's name's Chad. It's like the vegan Chad. I don't even know how he thinks about these things half the time because me, I'm like, okay, I get my B12 from like my nutritional yeast, some plant milks. I get my proteins from my tofu, my beans, nuts, legumes, seeds. I know where I get my K vitamins, your greens, D vitamins, mushrooms, my iron. I know where I get my leafy greens, not spinach. Or is that calcium? Calcium's not spinach. But like I know where I'm getting my
iron
stuff.
is spinach.
Yes. So it's the calcium is not spinach, but it's leafy greens. So kale, cabbage, things like that. And that's a big thing for me is obviously being healthy while being vegan. It's just that quarantine hit. And I was like, before quarantine, I was on a strict deficit of 1820. I was working out in the gym Monday to Friday, to an hour and a half to 2 hours every single day after work. And then Saturdays I went to kickboxing. Sunday I would do an active rest day. So for me, it was never like, oh, I'm just vegan, vegan helped me with more weight loss, but it was more for the animals.
It was a lot to do with your health.
Yeah, in the beginning.
At the beginning.
Plant-based. Yeah. So plant-based and vegan are two different things.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when you get people that are like, I'm no longer vegan, you were never vegan to begin with. You were plant-based.
So wait, actually, just so for people that don't know, can you just kind of draw the line in the sand of the difference between plant-based, vegan, and vegetarian?
Yeah. Vegetarian, you're still using animal products. Okay. Right. A lot of times people think that going vegetarian is a better solution because you're only eating dairy and eggs, sometimes fish. But I can go into what actually happens in the dairy and the egg industry. But that's vegetarian. So you're not eating meat. You're just eating dairy, eggs, possibly fish. Plant-based, you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet. So you're doing it mostly for health. You're not really caring towards, animals, the environment, things like that. It's more so I just want to stop eating meat because I, cholesterol, ABC. Right. Veganism is a movement. It's a whole system where you're dedicating your lifestyle to wanting to stop the exploitation of animals in every sense. That means wearing animals, consuming animal products and animals themselves, zoos, aquariums, things that you wouldn't even think about making sure it's vegan. Making sure it's vegan, not using I use glass cups and metal straws. I make sure that all of my shampoo, my toothpaste, everything's cruelty free. It's not tested on animals. So veganism is a whole movement to make sure that just the animals themselves aren't exploited.
Right. It's not just a diet. It's a total lifestyle, but a lifestyle.
Moral,
yeah.
Right.
So question. You said the whole thing about I was going to ask you this before and you said we're bringing it in. The straws.
Yes.
I've never seen you drink.
Yeah.
Is that because
it's not because
I just see you always use straws. So like.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not because of being vegan. I actually use straws because of the whole issue that I have with my esophagus.
Okay.
So I can't chug anything. I can't chug water. I can't chug anything because it'll get stuck in.
So don't call you out when you're not chugging. No.
Yes. That's why I usually do a sip because Steph was like, "You lifted the cup, didn't even drink it." I was like, "Straw."
See, this is where context is so important, people.
Yeah. So you're always gonna see me with a straw.
Okay.
And before you got to the restaurant, John, when we went out to eat, I asked for a straw, and he's like, "Oh, I only have paper," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever. They suck, but fine."
Yeah.
And
they did have paper straws that night, right?
Yeah. And he's going on to talk about saving the fish, blah blah.
Oh, he was so annoying. I'm sorry.
I know. And then he goes to tell me that their special tonight is fish, and I looked at him and I was like, "So you want me to save the fish by not using plastic, but not save the fish by not eating the fish?"
Fact.
So do me a favor. The vegan in me was like, "Go crazy!" Yeah. So that's
he
why
said something stupid to me that night. And I forgot what it was.
I don't even remember.
He said something really dumb.
It's that man. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't even.
So what you're saying is the next time I do a tag people and chug, I'm gonna expect you to sip, but put the whole thing, and so it's gonna dump all over your face.
Yeah, exactly. Because Steph was like, because the cup that I was using, you didn't really see the straw.
Yep.
And I was like, no, it's there. That's why I had to
it's there.
Let people know I literally use a straw. Even if I'm having alcohol, it's so bad. Steph was like, what the fuck are you doing?
So I guess I'd love to ask this question too, because it's actually a conversation that I could be in as well, because I'm in that same position. So the quarantine hit, and we're in this lull, and it's just shitty. It's life is not perfect. I always what are you saying? It's my go-to quote. Life is not always sunshine and rainbows. As much as I wish it was, people go through shit.
Yeah.
And being able to just get better at dealing with shit is what success in life is. Like when I tore my PCL last year and I used it as a catalyst for me to lose 60 pounds, 70 pounds to do a bodybuilding show, that is one option. Like, but I still went through shit. Like, it's not like it doesn't happen. So, what's been like cause you're relatively new to, I mean, over the last year and a half with your weight loss, 2 years, and then everything else with it, what's been like a teaching point or a learning point for you within quarantine that you're kind of, because you said you went through that depressive moment of just really being in a tough place and you're coming through it. So what's been kind of an experience from you with that whole bit?
Honestly,
I went straight for the jugular on that. That's a deep question.
Kind of getting to know myself for sure, because I think anybody who's had extreme weight loss, because I lost over 100 pounds. I lost like 112 pounds.
Yeah, girl, tell them.
So like, I lost over 112 pounds. To then gaining, 30 plus, it was kind of like, okay, like I did this once. Why is it so hard to get back into it? I mean, like so hard. I could not even think about doing a deficit again. I was like, no, I'm just going to try to work out here and there. And I would like work out here and there, like barely, because in the beginning of quarantine, that first month I was hitting it, or like I was so good. 9:30 every night I was doing an hour and a half of working out. I was in my deficit. Like I got to the smallest I was the beginning of quarantine. Like, and then it just, I don't know, like it just flipped. So like now I started.
Well, life stopped over here. You know what I'm saying? In New York, it fucking just came to a halt. Yeah.
Everything just frozen.
So I don't, we've never lived through this. So it was like, how do I deal? And it was like last week, I got back in a deficit out of nowhere. I was just like, you know what? I got to do it. Like, I just have to, because I can't get back to where I was, because it started to get to the point where I went back to old habits. And that's where the issue was the closet eating, the binge eating, and the lying about my weight, and then getting severely uncomfortable seeing people in person. I was like, if somebody sees me in person, they're going to be like, whoa, you blew up. So that started to get to me like really bad. And thankfully I wasn't a fitness page at the time. I wound up switching my page a while ago to veganism. It's Fit Little Vegan, because like obviously like fitness is a part of my life, but like
it used to be McKenna Fitness. For those that don't know,
it used to be the Keto McKenna's. So this page was mine and my wife's. It was the Keto McKenna's.
Yes, I remember that.
And then I think it was just McKenna Fitness, and then I changed it again. So so I started to kind of look at myself in the mirror again. This is what I did when I first started to need to lose weight. I would get ass naked and just look at myself in the mirror.
That is it. It works. I've done that to people. I've told people to do it.
Like look at myself and cry. Like
it's a huge emotional connection.
Well, and you're like looking at yourself. I cried last night because like I'm like I feel gross. Like I'm literally like I was crying to Steph in bed. I'm like grabbing my stomach, and I'm like, I'm not sexy, I'm not cute, I'm not beautiful. Like I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm worthless. Like, and these things just start getting back in your head, and like. It's such a horrible feeling.
Such a mental game.
Yeah, it's so.
And it's the balance, but it's the balance of it too. Like it's again, everything is such a spectrum to it. Where something that can be used as a great way, like hey, stare at yourself naked in the mirror and get so painful by it that it pushes you to change.
Exactly.
But then there's some people where they go way too far to the other side. Now they're like staring at themselves naked with 2% body fat going, I'm still too fat. I'm still too fat. Right. Yeah. So it's like, it's always a game. There's never an ideological perfect, but it is an effective way.
Yeah. Fucking body dysmorphia.
Oh man, it's so bad. Yeah. So that's what I started. So I topped out again at 193.8, and now I'm down to 184 I don't know, 6 or something. So 190 something to where I am now from doing the deficit, and then I started working out.
And when you do deficit, are you fully weighing your food, or what's your kind of your system or protocol?
I look at the
labels and everything.
Yeah, and I see what the serving size is, and I measure it out that way. I don't have a food scale, so I measure.
Bitch, get a food scale.
And I had one, but it was the one where it was like the ones in a supermarket where you have to put this, and it wasn't working.
Oh, like the old school ones, like
so
the little
annoying.
Claw looking thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I have that too. I have the regular
bad.
digital, and I have that one too.
I need the digital one. That's
I like a digital. Yeah.
I need the digital one, because last night I made these delicious tacos, but I was like, I think I used too much vegan meat. And I was
go to NutriWolf and go get one. Like $20.
Because I was like, what
Amazon, you can get them for like $18.
Yeah, do the Amazon gimmick.
I have
but so let me play a person who doesn't know for a second, because I know that there's people who are definitely wondering the same question as me right now. But how do you get your protein?
I mean, I'm deficient in it. No, I'm kidding. I eat a crap ton of tofu. I mean, like I would probably like.
And tofu is what, for people that don't know? Because
it's
there's
fermented soy. Yeah.
Right.
And which people shy away because they're like, soy is gonna give me titties if you're a man, but it's phytoestrogen. It's not the same. You're actually getting titties with, milk, not.
Right.
We won't go into that.
Right. No. I mean, hey, go into whatever the fuck you want to go into.
You don't want that. So.
I want it. The people want it.
Crap ton of tofu and tempeh. That's probably my two biggest things.
And tempeh is
soy as well. It's just made differently.
Gotcha.
I can't eat seitan because it has wheat. So that's
the one that I ate, right? That I tell you that I eat. Yeah. Okay.
Seitan is the highest level of protein in like vegan.
That's what they use for mock meats, right?
Mock meats, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't eat it because it has wheat in it. Chickpeas, seeds, nuts, legumes, beans. I eat beans all the time. And nutritional yeast, which also has a lot of B12 in it, is just kind of like it gives like a cheesy-ish flavor to certain things. But that, I use nutritional yeast probably every single day. You can use it, salads, tofu, whatever you want to use it. And that has a high count of B12, which is usually what I'm using. Lentils. Sorry.
Well, no, you're good. I was just about to say, one thing I like about what you're doing is the fact that it's not just a blind thing for you. It's education. Yeah. It's learning. Okay, all right, I'm doing vegan for multiple reasons. Like I'm vegetarian for this reason. I'm vegan for this reason. But I know that there's a good way to eat it and a bad way to eat it. So I need to. But
also, she's not a vegan snob. Like, and don't take that the wrong way, but she's definitely not a vegan snob.
Because I know some of those. I mean? I actually got into that with somebody the other day because I eat mock meats. I eat Impossible. I eat Beyond. The Trader Joe's slamming. But I had a vegan come at me, and like I know that there are some of them. Don't get me wrong. That he was like, I post my meals a lot, so give people options of like if you want vegan food,
right,
is bomb. So I made breakfast and I used the vegan egg, which just egg. If you guys should try it if you haven't. And
which is made of what, by the way? Because I keep seeing you put
pea protein and mung bean.
Oh, okay.
Pea protein isolate, mung bean. Yeah. So I had that with some asparagus, some vegan cheese, and a Beyond sausage patty. And
that should look real.
Just like so that.
It looked like real eggs, real sausage, and the asparagus is asparagus.
Okay, some of these things, like I'm confused. I'm like, this is vegan, right? Because like it tastes so like real. But this guy was like, why do you eat Beyond? And you guys can look at my page at the picture. It's like on there. I didn't delete it. He's like, I'm curious as to why you eat Beyond. And I know that there are vegans that are like, I don't even want to buy the mock meats because, they support places that have slaughtered,
I got
which
you.
is like, I understand, but you also have to understand supply and demand if you want people to go towards a round of veganism. And I also had an issue with another person where, they were like, my friend wants to go vegan. He wants to try the KFC. KFC has a vegan chicken sandwich. And I told him, no, you can't do it. And I was like, why would you deter him from trying that just because you told at KFC? You have to understand this is what's going to happen. You want a movement to happen. You need to start the movement.
Right.
Yeah. And it's the low ego of it. Like I had a buddy of mine who went vegan, who went through this huge ego stage where he jabbed at the line of, actually he's still vegan, but like he went through this ego side of it where he's like, I could never eat at the same table as someone eating meat.
Oh,
see, yeah, that's what I don't like.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like
that's
it's like flip it. I wouldn't sit there and go look at you and go, bro, I'm not gonna eat you're vegan. I'm not gonna eat the same table as you.
I mean, in my mind, it's like it's like separating somebody by like religion or sexuality. That's like me saying, oh, Kaela, I'm not gonna sit with you and your wife and have dinner because you guys are lesbians and I'm a straight male. And it's just not right. Yeah. It's not right. You're the fucking devil. You're going to hell. Okay.
We knew. But the thing with that, like there are certain things where in the beginning I was like, I'm never going to do that. And then I wound up not doing it. Like I would turn around and be like, I'm never going to, not cook you like meat. Cause like my wife at the time, she wasn't vegan. And she wound up just cooking her chicken and bison or whatever she was making. And it got to the point where it was so long that I didn't cook it, that for her birthday, she wanted me to cook the ground meat. And I like physically felt ill. I opened it. I was like, no, like I'm going to do this for her. Cause I said I wasn't going to be that person. And I opened it. I smelled the meat. I was like, oh no. And I tried to cook it and I was like, it's your birthday. Like, I love you, but I don't think I could do this. I'm so sorry. Like, cause I didn't think that I'd be the person that couldn't cook it anymore. You know, now my home, like my wife's vegan. She went vegan on her own. She watched Game Changers. I'm vegan. I also did some research, but my home is animal free. Like if you come to a barbecue, it's purely vegan. Like not even like, oh, can I bring? No, I don't want that in my house. Like, and I'm strict on that. It's my house. It's, you know, you're not paying my rent. Oh, well, don't come in. If I'm out, I bring my own food for the most part. Cause I don't like people going out of their way. Like, what can I get you? What can you eat? I usually either cook my food and bring it or I bring it there to cook. I still sit at the table with my family and my friends who are not vegan. I was not vegan for 23 years. Okay. Like I understand. There are people that equate it to like, well, that's like you eating a baby in front of me, like a human baby.
What?
And so that level of veganism, they'll say that. And on one hand, being a vegan, I'm like, okay, I can sympathize and I can understand, but you also have to understand that this is not the way of life right now. Like if you want, for me with veganism, if you want people to open their eyes to it, you have to do it in a way of them kind of being open to understanding why you feel the way that you feel. So
right.
Like when I'm in my activist stage, like I'm straight up, like I'm not going to lie to you about what is going on in the industry. I'm going to be straight up. Like right. This is what's happening. It's in front of your face. And if you see it, you know, you're funding this. That's it. Like, do I think you're unhealthy if you're not a vegan? No, I cannot look at anybody who's not vegan, who has lost a ton of weight, who, you know, it's pure muscle. If they're eating mostly whole foods, you know, I can't look at you and be like, you're unhealthy. That's wrong. You know what I mean? But I also can look at you, and if you tell me you're against animal cruelty, but you're funding these corporations, you're not. You're being a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm going to be honest about that. Be open about it. But I'm not going to be the asshole that's sitting at, I mean, it's not even to be an asshole about it. You know what I mean?
I'm a fucking hypocrite, bro. Like, I don't want animals to be fucking, you know,
it's like
slaughtered
looking at a dog
inhumanely.
Getting beaten and you're like, oh, there's no real humane way.
But I eat nothing but chicken and beef, you know?
Well, the one thing, too, is just like the classic of understand and respect, first and foremost. Like, it's like you won't create change if you don't understand 100%. And respect 100%. Everyone's position. You may not always agree. Like you can always say, hey, I don't agree with you. I understand 100%. And respect your logic.
Yes.
But it's like, but like that's the whole thing with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have friends who are hunters, you know, that are, you know, they try to tell me I ethically, you know, get them. And for me, like there's a dissociation because if somebody, like you're saying, I don't want them to be killed inhumanely. Like, what does humane mean to you?
Right.
Yeah. No pain. Like, that'd be mine.
Yeah. No pain. I don't want animals living on top of each other, you know. Yes, but again, I'm a fucking hypocrite. You know, I order my chicken from a company and it comes already grilled and diced and marinated. Ooh, well, no, I don't order from Purdue. But
okay. Yeah. It's like, no. We got problems.
I've watched.
It's so bad. They're the.
What was the first one that exposed Purdue back in the day? No, Food Inc.
No.
Food Inc.
Yeah, Food Inc. I watched Food Inc. in high school, and I was like, wow.
You guys didn't watch Dominion? That's
the what?
Dominion.
What's that? Another type of Food Inc.
You're literally seeing exactly what happens. So like humanely just means with benevolence, you know, kindness, benevolence.
Right.
You know, and you can't kindly kill anything that doesn't want to die, you know? And like, for me, being an animal lover my whole life, I mean, to the point where like I see a dead animal on the street, I'm saying the Hail Marys, praying it's going to animal heaven. Like I would literally kill somebody for my cat. I would like legitimately, there's no question I'm going to jail.
Right.
You know, I've had animals my whole life. Bears are my favorite. Cows are my favorite. And like, here I am eating them. Like it got to a point where, you know, when I finally went vegan, I was like, I would cry when I first like went fully vegan. I was crying that it took me so long to go vegan. But I also understand that this isn't something for everybody, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop fighting for it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, when people tell me the whole world is going to be vegan, why are you doing this? You know, I got the guy that I was with before I fully came out of the closet, we were actually still very, very good friends. I mean, like really good friends. And it's really upsetting because we're not anymore, because I'm a vegan. You know, he's from Ireland, and he was like coming at me, and he was like, you know, you don't even know what happens on the farms, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't care how well you're treating them. I personally think it's worse if you treat them better.
Well, it's also different when, you know, you have a giant corporation that's responsible for providing, you know, the nation with
80-90%.
Yeah, right. And then not a mom and pop farm. Like, I'm sure a mom and pop farm is taking great care of these, you know, animals, and they're killing them in, you know, humanely as possible.
For me,
right,
that's worse for me, because it's like, for me, it's like, wow, you were so kind to me my whole life, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, why are you putting a knife to my throat? Like, for me, that's worse. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I've always had this question.
Yeah.
What's your take on eating after natural cause death? So say a cow is
you can't, right? Isn't that a thing? Is that a thing?
Like
you can't eat an animal when it naturally dies.
You can't. I mean, but at the end of the day,
no, that's always my argument. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, so
because people bring that up.
Everyone dies. So it's like a cow
only
dies
because I don't know any
causes.
better. I don't know any better. I always thought that you can't eat an animal. I know that sounds really fucking stupid, actually, now that I'm talking about it out loud. I thought, like, if you have an animal and it dies of a natural death, you actually can't eat it because whatever it died of could contract into the meat.
It died without like issue, like sickness.
Yeah, it's like the average. I don't know that, I'm just making up a number. The average death age of a cow is 22, and this cow lives and is 19, 20 years old and dies of a heart attack or whatever that cow dies of, because everything dies. It's like, is it okay to eat? Considering,
is it or no?
For
I don't know.
For me, that's like looking at grandma and being like, she lived her full life. Let me. But that's for me, because in my eyes, it's decaying flesh that you're eating. Right. So like the natural lifespan of a cow, you're in that ballpark.
Was that right?
You're in the ballpark.
Let's go. I was a straight guess.
The lifespan when you're killing a cow for meat, if it's not a bubby calf, which is a baby male calf, which is your veal.
Yeah, veal.
The cow's only living 6 months to a year. Same thing with pigs. It's 3 to 6 months. You know, things like that. They're babies. You know, like this. As much as you think like veal is the only baby cow that you're eating, it's not. You're still killing an infant, you know, a 1-year-old, a 6 month to 1 year old. So if the whole world lived off of, well, why don't I just eat the animal when they fully pass away? You're waiting 18, 19, 20 plus years, depending on the animal, that the world's not going to be fed that way. When over, I believe it's 80% of our crops are being fed to the animals, we can end world hunger 3 times over with the amount of crops that we feed the animals to feed a smaller part of the population. So, you know, for me, either way, that's like people asking, okay, well, I have chickens, you know, can I eat their eggs? Actually, the chickens eat their eggs. They eat the yolk. That's nutrients for them. Same thing with bees. Like, vegans don't eat honey because the honey is the bee's food. It's actually bee vomit, which is gross, but that's their nutrients, you know, like, and we're taking that away when we have agave, we have maple syrup, you know, like we have all these other options where it's like, why are we taking it from the bees? Like, this is that's what they need to eat. Like, you know, so I can understand both sides of the spectrum because one, I wasn't a vegan my whole life. 2, I've had the thoughts of the extreme vegan, of course, I can't even lie about it. But I also understand that is not going to get me here. You know, so when people come at me and are like, you know, going back to the guy who's like, you don't know what happens on these farms, but he's screaming, do you eat grass? Do you eat grass? And I hate that argument. I'm like, no, I don't eat grass. What do you mean? And he's like, well, where do you get your K3? Where's your K vitamins? Where's your K vitamins? And I'm like, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, broccoli, spinach. Like, these are where the K vitamins come from. Why are you do you know what your K vitamins are? You know, like, nobody cared what my B12 and protein were before I was vegan when I was 269 pounds shoving grease down my throat.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's my argument real problem.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, no, I completely agree there.
Yeah, so he started going at me, calling me the C word. I won't say on here.
Really?
At me sideways. I mean, an hour and 4 minutes, he was screaming at me on the phone, telling me I think I'm better than everybody else. You know, it's the vegan feels and, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, I equated that to, okay, so I post before and afters before I went to a vegan Instagram. Does that make me better because I'm saying I lost all this weight? You didn't. I'm better than you. I post about mental health. Does that make me better because I survived suicide when your best friend didn't? No. It doesn't. It means I'm bringing awareness to a situation. It means I'm passionate about it and I want people to understand this is what's happening. And if you're still going to fund it, that's on you. I don't agree with what you're doing, but that's on you. I gave you all the information, and people, are like, well, do you cheat sometimes? Do you eat meat sometimes? I'm like, are you against racism sometimes? Are you against child porn sometimes? No, you're not. You're either against it or like you feel a little type of way. So no, I'm all in. I'm fully vegan. I'm not going to discredit anybody who's not vegan. I'm not going to tell you you're not healthy because you're not vegan. I'm not going to tell you that if, you don't go vegan, you're going straight to hell. Like, there are amazing people in this world who weren't vegan, but that's just a part of, do you still want to consume, what you're consuming? Because I feel like what you consume is a part of you. You're consuming fear and death and like just this horrible way of life that these beings were brought up in, like we literally, it's not the circle of life. It's not, because we're not lions. We're not the animal.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Do you think that humans are supposed to actually eat food? No. Because we don't have the teeth to do it. We don't have the teeth. Right. They're blunt. And now this is just because I'm a nerd and I know stupid shit like this, but like we have blunt teeth. We do not have razor sharp teeth. And not only that, we don't eat raw.
You know what you put on your meat? Seasoning, which is made of plants, bro. Like, you don't eat the plant.
We still cook it. Hey, listen, I'm not getting off this podcast and I'm going to go fucking vegan. But I mean, I do eat a large plant-based diet. Like, I eat legumes and I eat fucking whatever. I'm not here to defend that. But what I'm saying, do you think humans should be, were we made to be at this point in stage of evolution supposed to eat meat? In my opinion, honestly, no, absolutely not. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so. If you would have asked Kaela 2 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, I would have been.
I think we're omnivores personally. I think we're hybrids.
I think we're omnivores to a degree
because we can. So okay,
our bodies can digest it.
Yes. Yes and no. So we have the longest. Our intestines are not made to fully digest meat. So that's why we can't eat them raw. We can't eat meat raw. Mm-hmm. The animal with the sharpest teeth in all the animals is a hippo. And they're not carnivores. You can tell, yes, we are omnivores. And you can tell that by the way that our jaws move. So a carnivore, a straight carnivore, which people claim that we are, which we're not.
We're not.
Your jaw only moves up and down.
You're right.
In omnivore, it's moving side to side.
Right.
Now, these
ours does both.
Are blunt.
Like, I was totally doing it just so you guys know.
I saw you. But that's how you can kind of tell. So yes, we are omnivores. We can eat meat. But do we need it? And that's the thing.
100%. And I love that. See, like that's my angle to it all too. It's my angle on that especially as well is like, do we over consume meat? 100%.
Oh,
we've been in the last 100 years, we've been marketed that meat is the most essential thing. Protein is. I still think protein is, but again, meat and protein aren't necessarily the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
There's no such thing as animal protein.
Yeah.
Animals get their protein
from
what they're eating.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Well, and then it just comes down to calories and all that kind of stuff in the macros.
Yeah, when people tell me, but animal protein, I'm like, animals are a host. There's no such thing. Because if the animal was just born and then didn't eat, it's not gonna die and be like, oh, protein. Like it gets its protein from what it's eating, which is what I'm eating, which is literally what's grown from the earth.
Yeah. It's just densities of it.
Yeah, so like
it just comes in densities.
When people try to make the argument, or when people are saying like, you lack this or you're lacking this, and it's like, am I though? Like, I know what I'm eating. I made sure that I'm educated enough when I am eating because, when I first tried to go fully vegan and give up chicken, I was so bad because I was like, I never tried tofu in my life and I didn't know what I was going to eat. And that's where the issue was, because within 5 days, I was like, I can't do it. I don't feel good, because I wasn't getting what I needed, because I wasn't understanding that I didn't eat beans at the time. I didn't eat tofu. I didn't eat tempeh. I didn't eat any of this stuff. So I literally was getting nothing. And then I educated myself on it, and here I am today. But going back to your question about, do we need it? No, these animals, it's not the circle of life. If the circle of life is forcibly impregnating an animal to take its baby away and then grow it for 6 months, stuff it up for 6 months for us to then kill it and eat it, that's not the circle of life. You're getting your meat prepackaged.
Oh, that's corporations.
And even if you're going out and you're killing the animal, that's still not the circle of life. Because if you go out there without a bow, without a gun, without a knife, go straight up to an animal and try to kill it, I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win. So no, like I don't believe that we are meant to. I think that in the times years and years and years ago, because everyone's like,
when we were hunters and gatherers, yeah, but we
you
weren't
know,
even eating fucking big game. We were eating fish and fucking rabbits and bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
and you're still
Occasionally
cooking
they were
it.
big game.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes
yeah,
you're getting
when
a
you had a
bison and
tribe
something.
of 40 people and spears, yeah, they're
Yeah,
taking
taking down a big old.
But also,
bison.
that was when humans didn't know when their next meal was going to come.
Yes.
You know, I could go on my phone
and
right now and
the
fucking
fur,
order Grubhub. You know, it doesn't make a difference.
And they were using every part of the animal for a home.
Right.
You know, for warmth, for clothes, for shelter.
Yeah, fuel and
we don't
bullshit.
Have that anymore. We don't need that anymore.
Not fuel, but you know.
There are animal products.
Actually, no, there actually were fuel. Like you
I meant to like burn, you know, whale fat.
Back in the day, they killed whales for the blubber for lanterns and heat and shit.
Now that's what I was going for. Blubber for lipstick. Why?
Yeah.
You know, like why? Why do we need certain things? You know, like I read about Colgate. I was trying to figure out what toothpaste is cruelty free, and I'm reading about Colgate, and they test on animals, and they'll feed it to the animal until it gets violently ill to see what the natural consumption, and that's where you get on the label, don't consume over X amount, because they gave it to an animal to try to see how sick it would get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
Like, it's inhumane to do that to a human.
But it's also, you know, like, and that's the thing where it's like, this is where the differentiation of veganism to plant-based is. So when you see all those videos of, I'm no longer vegan, you were never vegan to begin with. Like, and that's why vegans get so mad when people are like, see, they were a vegan, blah, blah. No, you weren't. Because if you told me I'll live 12 years longer if I ate a steak, I'm not going to go eat a steak. I'll be like, fuck it, I'll cut those 12 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the classic line of virtue signaling, I'm sure, what you get into. It's like, you're saying you're vegan, but you're not really vegan because you want to sound cool, but you don't really get it. You know, I respect that. I respect that.
And people, you know, and I get it from all sides. I get it from family. I get it from friends. I've lost friends. I've lost family. Because of this, I get uncomfortable going to places because I get the jabs and the remarks. And I had an argument with somebody, I won't say who it is because it's a mutual person that we know. And
air them out. No, I'm kidding.
No, I won't do that. But their lifestyle is different than mine. They do a keto lifestyle. And we've gotten into a few things about it where they turned around and were like, do you know how hard it is to go out, you know, as somebody who's not a vegan and eat? And I was like, what? Because I remember that episode that you told me to listen to, where your friend, where you were like, we went to a place and he asked gluten-free and vegan. I obviously have to be gluten-free as well as vegan. And he was able to get ice water. Yeah, no, I know. I'm pointing to you. I don't know where you are on your screen, but you're over here to me.
Yeah.
So for me, that resonates with me hard body, because if things were just a little bit more easier, you know, I can go out and you'll have vegan options now, which is great, but there's not a lot of gluten-free ones, which is hard. It's not like I want to be gluten-free just to freaking be gluten-free. Like, sucks. But this is why the movement has to happen, because there should be options. You know, we should.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I go out and I want low carb options, and there's fucking never any low carb options.
No, and that's the thing. So when this person came at me and was like, do you know how hard it is, blah, blah, and I was like, do you have any idea what it's like for me to be anywhere, even at a family function, where I'm bringing my own food? I'm not even asking somebody to buy it or make it. And I get what's that cardboard? You want to eat cardboard? Go outside. What's that garbage? You want to eat garbage? Go outside. What's that fake food you're eating? When I'm eating like broccoli and like tempeh, like a non-processed vegan meal. I guess people could say it's processed because it's, you know, fermented soy, but like your shake is processed too because you're blending it up. And like people making fun of me for that. People shitting on me for that, people telling me like, you're not eating real food, you know, because you're eating like rabbit food or whatever. Like, and I'm eating satiating full meals. I don't need to have the animal to feel full, to feel happy, you know. And everyone's like, you're missing out. I actually lived 23 years of eating animal products. I'm not missing out. I know what it is. I know what it tastes like. It's not like I grew up my whole life not vegan. It's like, I know what's there and I'm deciding that it's not for me.
I love, and this is kind of a cool thing for me on that whole bit is that it's not mutually exclusive to anything. This classic, and people, there's a couple different angles to it. Number one is the sincere ignorance perspective, which is your friends and your family are primarily sincerely ignorant. They sincerely wish the best for you, but they're ignorant to the fact that there's plenty of things they just have no idea about. Like whether it's like, you're trying to start a business and you're like, no, Billy, go to college. And it's like, no, I want to start a business. I want to do this. And like, they're sincerely, ignorantly giving you their perspective on what's best for them. And they just don't know. So that's one side. And number two is the perspective of someone, the subconscious of people taking success personal, where it's like, your friends and your family, as soon as you start making too much success, they try to pull you back. Why? Because it makes them feel inadequate because you're doing things that they can't do themselves.
Right.
And it's like oftentimes your friends and your family want you to make a lot of money, but not too much money.
Yep.
They want you to be fit and healthy, but not too fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you go to that upper echelon perspective, it now makes them turn around and look at themselves. Because now they're like, wow, David lost 200 pounds and I can't get off the fucking couch.
Right.
And hey, David, come over and play video games. You're working too hard, David.
Yeah.
And it's that classic, and they don't mean it often, some do, but most people don't mean it intently.
Yeah.
It's a subconscious thing that they're just trying to make themselves feel better by pulling anyone a little bit back to make them, oh, David's not that perfect. Kayla's not that perfect.
Yeah, I got this.
John's not that perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
and
throw
so
away your fat clothes, like things like that. You're gonna get fat again. And then I started gaining weight again. I'm like, oh, people are right, and that's a whole other thing. But like,
no, 100%. And I think it's important to know. Those are always two big things that I share with people often when they just ask for advice or anything. Like, be careful of sincere ignorance, and be careful of overwhelming success, because this is what tends to happen. It was like one of my two main things I tell people.
So true. Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah.
I respect it. That was good. I will admit.
Are the claws away? Are the claws?
I didn't have claws. I was gonna be respectful no matter what, because that's
no. I'm kidding.
Debating. No,
I mean, go
like
fuck himself. Just tell him right now. Tell him go fuck himself.
No, but people, in a general sense, people need to understand that you can have conversations like this and understand that you're not
and have respect
everybody's
right.
mind. The biggest thing for me, being gay, and a lot of other things along with it.
You're in a very, very, very small set group.
Not everybody's going to accept me, and I have to accept that. And I feel like everybody needs to understand that, whether it's weight loss, whether it's political views, whether it's religious views, whether it's the way that you eat, the way that you shop.
But like the best thing is, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because I know you for so long and I love you, but like, I don't look at you and I'm like, oh, Kaela, the vegan lesbian. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the gluten-free, the gluten-free vegan lesbian. But like, I don't see that. It's just, I don't know. You're a fucking person.
I mean, you get put into a box with everything. Like, even me being gay.
You love being put in a box.
Oh, you're David with the small calves. Shut the fuck up.
But don't do.
No, I know.
No, it's so bad. Like, I have a high-key obsession with Machine Gun Kelly. I'm in love with this man who looks like a lesbian. And I get...
He does look like a lesbian.
He looks...
Like, if you put tattoos on Ellen DeGeneres, that's him. Yeah, he does.
Looks like a tyke. Okay. I got to a point where it annoys people so much, I purposely put him all over my page. I have a little highlight of just Machine Gun Kelly because it pisses people off so much. Because people are like, aren't you supposed to be a lesbian? Don't you like women? Like, is it bothering you that much, my life? Like, that's the thing where it's like, but like, that's the thing. It's to the smallest part where you just have to understand that not everybody's going to accept you, and you have to accept that. And you can be able to be friends with people with different views, no matter what it is.
We're just such an interesting time in society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's
absolutely.
the A and B mentality. It's like, you're either A or B, and if you're B, I can't be around you. It's like, shut up.
And it's so bad. I've lost friends, best friends of 10 plus years over certain things that I...
Well, you're never going to lose me, baby girl.
I better not. First of all, I know where you live, 4 minutes away.
Okay. Of our experience so far of this first time ever on a verbal podcast, that was honestly, when he made that statement, I was like, she's about to come back with because I'm going to show up at your house. Yeah. I was like, I knew you were going to say
You don't know my crazy. I used to show up at my ex's house like, bang, bang, bang. I used to be real crazy. That's the Puerto Rican in me. We actually live 4 minutes away.
Yeah, we do.
From each other, so.
That's funny. So what you're saying is you go on walks together.
No, he don't wait for me, rude.
No, because she out mad late, bro. I'm trying to get
I'm at 5 o'clock. What you mean?
All right, fuck you can beat me this week before I go away.
So that for me is the biggest thing with, especially something that I'm so passionate on, which is veganism. Understanding that you're not going to walk out of this conversation and be like, I'm a vegan. You're going to walk out with a different, hopefully, view.
Different perspective.
Not only veganism itself, but vegans. Because I know those vegans who are like, you're still funding, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I shop at the grocery store. Like, where do you want me to shop? Certain things.
You would have my own farm.
Go in your backyard. Go pick some.
What do you want?
I made one tomato.
Did you make a garden?
One tomato. I had a garden, made one tomato, and I cut it open. It was moldy. I wanted to throw it against the wall. I was like,
yo, we got good zucchini right now.
I'm coming
in
over.
my garden.
I love
got some good goods. It's
fucking.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're fucking great. I love you. I don't think that there should be like this whole like, all right, you do keto, congratulations. I really hope that you all have the best success with it. You do paleo, congratulations. I hope you have success with it. You do vegan, congratulations. I hope you have success with it. We live in a spot in society where like, tribalism. And I don't know if it's it's tribalism, but I don't know if it's because like, all right, you have to look at the spectrum of where we are as people. So like, our parents were the baby boomers, you know, and their parents lived through the Depression. So like they're so used of having, okay, whatever food that we have, we need to consume. So like if there's extras, you better eat the extras. You know, meat was so scarce then. So if we have meat, you better eat meat. That's, you know, we don't have anything. So that's what was instilled in our grandparents, and our grandparents gave that to our parents. But now we live in a society that it's like everything is at our fingertips, but we can't coexist because our past has told us we can't coexist.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up place of where we are. So if you're listening to this and you have a lifestyle, and whatever that lifestyle is, congratulations. Again, I wish you the best. David wishes you the best. Kaela wishes you the best. And we want to see nothing but success. So I don't care if you're vegan, if you're paleo, if you're fucking carnivore, if you're whatever. I don't care. You want to poop out your own shit and eat it? Congratulations.
How are you supposed to poop though? Like, that's a real question. Any carnivores?
Dude, like, I'm so low carb, and you know, my friends make fun of me about this, and I don't know if David knows this or if you know this. No, bad TMI. I'm so low carb, and I eat so much regular animal protein, as we now learn today. I shit once a week.
Oh my God, I kill myself.
No. Really?
Dude,
I shit. Both our faces.
Yo, maximum. I'm not even kidding with you. And my friends make so fun of me. I shit maximum maybe 2 or 3 days a week. And it sucks. And when I was heavy, I was going 11 times a day because I had IBS because I was eating so bad. So now I've tried to introduce more fiber into my diet.
Is it painful? I really want to know, because the medical side of me wants to know.
Is what painful? Does my stomach hurt all the time?
Are you bloated all the time? Oh,
I'm not so much bloated as I used to be. I definitely was very bloated at one point. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I've gotten really used to it.
I've never had, but I also eat 2 Quest bars, and that has a lot of fiber in it. But I've done times where I've not done that.
Please don't get me wrong. I don't know what it is. I would really love to know what it is.
That's fascinating.
It is. It's very fascinating.
The medical side of me is like, okay, I'm twisting. I'm like spinning.
Like I'll think that I have to go to the bathroom. I'll go to the bathroom. I'll sit there for an hour and a half, and like nothing really happens. Yeah, legs are sleeping. You know, whatever. I don't have a full, medical bowel movement. Now that everyone knows about what my shitting life is about,
no, that's horrible. No, but I really want to know, because I know some carnivores
like 4 or 5 times a day.
Oh no! Oh God! I would have to eat like a full regular, I would have to eat like mad carbs and whatever, and then I would. And
that's fascinating. I've never had that issue.
That sounds literally horrible. I just genuinely wanted to know, because like, being a person that's like, you need to go to the bathroom. I know people that went from keto carnivore to straight veganism, and they're like, I don't know how I was living beforehand. Like, I could not go to the bathroom. I'm like, I could not live like that. Like,
yeah, it's so fascinating.
I just think about the pain alone.
I always, when I go to the hyper focused of any health, and like whether it's vegan, vegetarian, or sorry, we'll say vegetarian, keto, paleo, just any of them, I always start from the standpoint of, all right, can we all agree you're going to die? Well, yeah. We're all going to die, right? We're all going to die. Yeah. You may make it to 70, 80, 85, 90, you may make it to 110, but you're going to die. So you want to worry about leptin and lectins, and you want to get to this super ridiculous notion that like you get carnivores that like they go heavy into the lectins, and you got to be careful of the lectins in some certain vegetables.
What the fuck is a lectin?
Why don't people eat vegetables? I don't understand.
So lectins. What is
a lectin?
This is the class. So certain. So a couple things. Number one, lectins is like obviously anything alive, which you can plants are living. Mm-hmm. They're not sentient, but they're living, and so they have chemicals that they release that tries to keep like bugs from eating them. And those are what we would consider lectins. And depending on what those vegetables are and those fruits are, if you eat too much of them, they can have adverse side effects in the gut, and they kill the bacteria in the gut, and they kill, because we're not supposed to eat those vegetables. But it's the classic of, well, since there's a certain thing called lectins, I'm just gonna only eat meat. Shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
and that's my thing. Is like, because you get to this point now where it's like, well, I'm just trying to live to 160. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I don't want to be here that long. I'm
no,
gonna be honest
God, literally take me
people
out, bro.
talk about like immortality. I don't want to fucking be here that long. Screw that. Look at what we're going through right now. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, better off I check out now. Don't fuck.
Literally take me out, flinging myself.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing when you get into these super in-depth, hyper focusing on such a small, because it's like it goes with the vegetarian and vegan. It's like, where are you getting your B12? Oh, shut the fuck up. There's plenty.
Imagine
of
we didn't care how people ate.
Yeah.
Imagine we didn't like. We
Imagine
really
somebody didn't come at me
care.
24/7 about like, are you getting?
And we could just all live our life. Just be happy.
No, 100%.
Fuck, you know.
Well, I think I will. Considering that I'm a heavy meat eater, I think we had a pretty good conversation. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this educational part of the programming. So if we could just step back for 1 second, and we'll kind of escalate this and kind of wrap this up.
Escalate or de-escalate it?
Oh, no, escalate it to the next part of the program.
Oh, escalate to the next part. I was like, wait, we're gonna get more heated. What's the next conversation?
I'm already red from the sunburn. You want to get me redder?
Because honestly, we're almost 2 hours into this. This is definitely going to be the longest ALG podcast ever in creation, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, we're good. Hour and 20 in.
Yeah, all right. Same shit. All right. So Kaela, why don't you tell us what you're working towards now, what your next set of goals are, and
how can ALG help you stay accountable?
How can ALG? Yeah, and for those that don't know, Kaela is a moderator in the ALG online community, so she's very, very special to us. She's a rock star. So why don't you walk us through what the next part of 2020 has for you?
Well, definitely get back to where I was weight-wise and lower, because my goal weight was 145 and I was like right there, and now I'm not.
Okay.
But get back there, for sure. Continue to work mentally. I've been posting more about mental health and stuff like that on my page.
And define mental. I would love to know what that means to you. Like, what's the goal? To live more blissfully happy, to deal with what's your definition?
More to learn to continue to deal and to get people to understand. Like, I know that people understand that they're not alone, and you have the people that are just like, I'm depressed, just to say that they have a mental illness, which is like, because it's very serious. It's very scary to have, to open up to people to understand that this is serious, like, hopefully you have a support system, and if you do, how to talk to them, because that was a big thing for me, not talking, not opening up, to kind of just broaden people's horizons to what mental illness actually is, and if you have a mental illness or think that you do, how to reach out, how to handle it, how to know your trigger points and learn how to bring yourself back, and kind of calm down and get there, and obviously like spread more awareness on veganism, and get more conversation. I'm trying to get more into open debates and open conversation about these things, because it's probably the one thing that I've been most passionate about in my whole life. Like, I don't think I've ever felt this passionate or this much love for something that I've done in my whole life. Not weight loss, not the mental health side. Those things are super important to me, but veganism to me has been this life-changing experience, for so many reasons, and kind of just bringing that awareness to people, whether it changes their mind or not. It's just to keep that conversation in your head, so that way when somebody else talks to you about it, you're like, oh, well, I actually know this vegan and we actually spoke about this. And getting somebody to try. I love people eating my food, like even before I was vegan, and hopefully down the line I want to be able to do something with that. So
cool,
that's kind of where that is. And as far as the accountability side of it, and this group actually started to push me back into that weight loss side and get me back in my deficit, because being in that group and seeing everybody like, I'm working out today, and like doing all this, and I'm like shoving chips in my face. I'm like, shit, now I gotta go do it. Like, that's kind of where the biggest part of this group for me is, because I didn't have that accountability anymore without the gym, without somebody like out my ass being like, oh, we're going to work out today. I didn't have that. So having this group, in the group we have like the physical, the mental, and all that stuff. It has really helped me kind of jump
And not even to sound corny, I feel like we kind of pushed that group out there at like the right time.
Yeah.
And it was non-intentional. It was like not some master plan that we had or anything like that. It just
I literally I started like a month before, and we were just sitting on when we wanted to actually just do it.
And now that a lot of us still don't have gyms, and it seems like the places that did have gyms, they're slowly but surely closing again. Yeah. I mean, you just said it best. You know, you don't have that accountability group from going into your gym every day and seeing, you know, your gym friends or looking at your gym crush or whatever the fuck.
I was literally about to say that.
Yeah. So like,
yo, there's some fine girls in my gym. Okay.
Right.
Sarah's here today. Oh, Sarah's been working out.
Right. And then you work out like 5% harder, and it is what it is. So like
12%.
Yeah.
Solid 12%.
12%.
15 if the ass is nice.
But having this accountable group setting at at your fingertips again, it's very, very it's important. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something that I feel like we're all missing right now. So, you know, if you are not a part of the ALG online community on Discord, and if you would like to be, if you think that someone in your life would like to be, if they need it in their life, if you're just trying to make a small amount of change, I'm talking 1% a day. That's all I'm asking for, people. Can you do 1% of change different a day? If you can. Please feel free to contact when you can. Please, see, you fucked me up. Please feel free to contact any of the 3 voices that you're hearing right now. Any of these lovely talking heads. Do you see us right here?
And if you're on YouTube, it's gonna be in the description below. So
So please contact us. We'll drop you a link. We would love to have you. I think that this is beneficial for any walk of life. We have a gluten-free vegan lesbian. I mean, what fucking else could you want?
We do. I'm gay.
You're gay?
Oh.
Wait, what? Wait,
my wife.
You're gay? I thought.
I don't know. I thought I was straight. I don't know.
I just thought you were gay for plants. So anyway, Kaela, I have 2 very important questions for you that I like to wrap up the podcast with, and I will give you the first one now. If you could go back in time, rewind time, go back to Kaela sitting in Roland Roaster, and you could offer her any piece of advice, what would that be?
You're going to make it. Plain and simple. I think that at any point in my life, that's probably what I would tell myself. From 8 years old to 15 to 20 to 24, you know. Even right now, because right now I've been struggling. Just, you're going to make it.
I love that.
I dig it.
If you could give 3 pieces of advice to people that are listening at home right now, what would those be?
They can be anywhere. They don't have to be weight loss related.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be weight loss or anything.
No, they don't have to be weight loss related.
But if it's someone who's debating, you know, trying the vegan lifestyle, even whatever.
3 biggest ones.
Yeah,
it could be resources too. It's like, hey, go check this out. Hey, do this.
Got those 2, yeah. Vegan wise, research and try it. Talk to anybody that you know, and if you don't know anybody, Earthling Ed, one of the best. Joey Carbstrong, he's a little bit more on the aggressive side, but he's phenomenal. Or me. Weight loss wise, start. Don't try to start Monday. Don't try to start in a week. Start now. Start today. Even if you fucked up in the beginning, start right now, because right now is the only time we really got. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. And mental wise, reach out, because even when you think you have it, you don't. And as much as people think that reaching out for help is not manly in a guy's case, or, you know, weak in any person's case, it's not. We need it. I personally think that we all need something to just kind of help us keep going.
Yeah, it's that combo together. It's like, you're on your own, but you're not alone. I always like that quote, which is like, at the end of the day, you make your own decisions, but you don't have to be a lone wolf.
Exactly.
I like that. Kaela, where can we find you online?
Instagram at fit.lil.vegan_.
Yeet.
Excellent. I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to thank you for not calling out David's eyes. And I want to thank everyone.
I called out my sunburn, so.
I want to thank everyone at home for taking the time out today to listen. Please, if you can, like, share, and subscribe. Show it to your friend. Show it to your mother. Show it to your father. Show it to your sister. Show it to your cousin. Show it to that girl you're secretly fucking. I don't care who you show it to, but please show it to somebody. And if you would like to join the ALG online community, please reach out or follow the description below. Click the link. We would love to have you. Thank you again for joining us. As always, I am JRP's Journey. I forgot my own name for a second. That's JARPS_Journey, a.k.a. John Arpino, and my colleague, my man, the Batman, the Robin, the man of the hour, fit_DRock, David fucking Roden.
Meow.
You all have a beautiful day.
Meow.